Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to talk about SAN, S-A-N, SAN, that is spinal accessory nerve. The spinal accessory nerve is the 11th cranial nerve. It's a motor nerve and it supplies two important muscles of the head and neck. That is sternocleidomastoid muscle and the trapezius muscle. The sternocleidomastoid muscle helps our neck to move towards the opposite direction. It also helps the neck to be flexed. And the trapezius muscle helps us to shrug our shoulder. It also stabilizes the scapula. The spinal accessory nerve can be injured during level 2B neck dissection or in the posterior triangle of the neck. Now, one point is that should we always dissect level 2B neck nodes? The level 2B neck nodes are at the posterior direction compared to the vertical location of the spinal accessory nerve. And this level 2B can be spared in case of elective neck dissection, that is N0 neck dissection, but except in case of parotid malignancy. Also, whether it should be dissected or not, this decision could be made based on perioperative findings. The level 2B neck nodes should be dissected during therapeutic neck node dissection, that is N plus neck node dissection. The consideration should be given because during level 2B neck node dissection, there is chance of skeletonizing and future dysfunction of the spinal accessory nerve, which will require future extensive physiotherapy. So there is much talk about the landmarks for identification of the facial nerve. But what are the landmarks for identification of the spinal accessory nerve? These landmarks are tendinous part of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Also, the overlying perforating vessels are landmark. And the posterior belly of digastric, the nerve lies deep to the posterior belly of the digastric muscle. C1, that is the transverse process of cervical 1 vertebra. Another one is the arch point. The nerve is 1 centimeter above the arch point. The arch point lies almost at the midpoint along the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid. And the nerve is approximately 1 centimeter above the arch point. Another landmark is internal jugular vein. The nerve goes anterior to the internal jugular vein. Sometimes it may go posterior to the anterior jugular vein, and also sometimes it may bifurcate the internal jugular vein.
These are the common three types. Also, another type is found when the spinal accessory nerve itself is duplicated and goes both anterior and posterior to the internal jugular vein.
And in the posterior triangle, the nerve is more superficial than the anterior triangle. So we should be careful during dissection of the spinal accessory nerve.
In the posterior triangle, the nerve emerges from the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid at the junction of upper 1/3 and lower 2/3, then goes obliquely over the levator scapulae muscle and goes towards the trapezius muscle.
How should we suspect that there may be spinal accessory nerve injury in the postoperative period? In the postoperative period, patient will have weakness in shrugging his or her shoulder, and he or she may not raise their hands more than 90 degrees. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.